stories. Now on the go.
Stay connected wherever you are.
Visit channelafrica.co.za or download the Channel Africa app today. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Es-tu préoccupé par quelque chose? Es-tu passionné par les questions qui comptent? As-tu une voix qui mérite d'être entendue? Eh bien, nous avons la plateforme parfaite pour toi. Téléphone-nous ou fais-nous un WhatsApp au +27 66 408 87 42 et nous te rappellerons. Sois dans la conversation.
Salut Channel Africa, ici Beno le diamant rouge et depuis le Cameroun, le pays des lions, voilà.
Sois dans la conversation. Il ne s'agit pas seulement de parler, mais c'est ta chance d'exprimer ton point de vue, de partager tes opinions et de t'engager avec une communauté qui valorise ton avis. Suivez-nous sur les réseaux sociaux, visitez notre site www.channelafrica.co.za et préparez-vous à partager vos points de vue sur Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
Channel Africa, your voice, your sound, and your home. Stay locked right here.
I The soothing sounds coming from the Gambia with Sona Jobater and her wonderful kora instrument coming through live as we broadcast here from South Africa. Channel Africa is who we are, and this is the Upside, opening gateways into many beautiful spaces here on the African continent. Okay, so we are going to be looking at something very interesting that's happening in the city of Cape Town, but I might be mistaken. So let's do this. Let's take a quick break and we'll return with our first conversation.
The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Teboholi Kuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Only on Channel Africa, the African perspective. This weekend, South Africa will host the G20 Summit at the Nasrec Expo Center near Soweto. And Channel Africa will be right there to bring you live updates, interviews, and real-time insights from the main venue. And so, our regular lineup will be adjusted just a little bit for this weekend to accommodate the G20. On Saturday, the 22nd of November, the Oasis will broadcast for 2 hours. Out and About takes a break for a full look at the G20. After Africa Chart Toppers, our news and current affairs team will bring you special live broadcasts in 5 different languages directly from Nasrec. And normal programming will resume at 8 p.m. Central African Time. And then on Sunday, the 23rd of November, the Oasis will also broadcast for 2 hours. Tech Africa steps aside for our news and current affairs teams to bring you special live broadcasts in 5 different languages. Then, Planting the Seed resumes from 1 p.m. till 2 p.m. Central African Time. Channel Africa, your window to the continent, connecting you to the world in an African perspective. The Upside. On the Upside, your voice matters.
16 minutes into 1 p.m. in Central African Time. Now that my cognitive faculties have returned to me, let's get on with it. So the soundtrack to entrepreneurship brings listeners into the heartbeat of building something from the ground up, where passion and persistence guides every step. There's a new Spotify playlist that has been unveiled, okay, curated by entrepreneurs who know the grind firsthand. Their song choice reflects the moments that shape the journey from quiet reflection to bold breakthroughs. Winners of the Old Mutual SMGO's Pitchathon 2025 have shared the music that keeps them moving. Together with other selections, the playlist captures the highs and the lows of entrepreneurship and their journey and their road to success, as it were, and it is available on Spotify as we speak from the 21st of November, which is today, okay, as part of Global Entrepreneurship Week that we have been observing as a show as well since its start on Monday. Let's talk about it. Let's speak to Mmatsheko Mosito in her capacity as Head of Marketing SME at Old Mutual Corporate. Mmatsheko, welcome to Channel Africa. Pleasure to talk to you this afternoon.
Thank you very much for having me. Pleasure chatting to you.
Thank you. Talk to us about Old Mutual's SME Go Pitchathon for 2025 and what underpins that particular initiative.
So it's a pitchathon that we had in September of 2025, where businesses across the country could enter and submit their entries for their businesses to be supported with an amount of 300,000 Rand. And we gave away 4.2 million Rands to 14 businesses across Johannesburg as well as Cape Town. Those particular winners, which are the ones that have created that founders list, are the ones that won, and they submitted their favorite songs.
Okay. And the collaboration with Spotify, how did that come about? Because very interesting merge between, Old Mutual, but the SME Go, and then music forming part of this initiative. Talk to us about how you got to collaborate with Spotify for this project.
So really what we really thought for the Founders Frequency was really to surface the individuals that were part of the Pitchathon, and to really surface them as entrepreneurs, but also as people, what music inspires them and what really gets them going through a very challenging time, and we decided to create our own founders frequency.
Okay.
So that others could collaborate and actually get a sense from them in terms of how they're motivated as entrepreneurs.
Okay. If you've just tuned in, thank you for being here. We are speaking about the winners of Old Mutual's SME Go Pitchathon for 2025, but also in sharing the soundtrack of entrepreneurship and what that sounds like through the work that they are doing with Spotify. We are chatting to Mmatsheko Mosito, speaking to us in her capacity as Head of Marketing, SME at Old Mutual Corporate. Mmatsheko, let's look at what the entrepreneurs have brought to the table in terms of their experiences through SME Go and how that filtered into their Spotify playlists. What can you share with us in terms of what they have brought to the table?
So basically, obviously, most entrepreneurs go through a journey that has its ups and downs and challenges and really testing moments. So when we brought through the founders frequency request through to them, they really just shared songs that took them through those moments, right? As business people, as people that have highs and lows. So it was really soundtracks that link back to their motivation as business people.
Okay, and also just the idea of actually having the playlist up publicly for all of us to kind of get a sense of what the journey of entrepreneurship is like through the music. Talk to us about how we. Are you targeting other entrepreneurs to be able to kind of connect with them through the music, as it were? Is that the idea?
That's the idea, really, just also to be motivated by other business people to create a broader sense of community through music.
Okay. All right. Let's continue talking about the collaboration between Old Mutual's SME Go Pitchathon for 2025 and Spotify after the break.
Conversations are happening, and Channel Africa is at the heart of them. We tell the African story with clarity, pride, and purpose, reaching audiences that matter to your brand. Partner with us and connect your business with listeners across borders in multiple languages and markets. For partnership opportunities, sponsorship, or sales, email us at partnership@channelafrica.co.za. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Keep Africa in your hands. Connect to our website for all your news, sports, and cultural updates. channelafrica.co.za. We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the upside.
21 minutes into 1 p.m. in Central African time. Welcome if you've just tuned in. We are talking about Old Mutual coming through with their SME Go Pitchathon for 2025 and also partnering with Spotify for an entrepreneurial inspired playlist that you and I can access. And I think also quite relevant as we're all observing Global Entrepreneurship Week, which is really significant when we are looking at really reproducing many places and spaces and fraternities on the African continent economically. On the line with me is Mmatsheko Mosito. She is Head of Marketing SME at Old Mutual Corporate. Mmatsheko, Global Entrepreneurship Week is really vital, and of course it is encouraging at this time to really unpack the stories of entrepreneurs everywhere, using South Africa as an example. So how do you hope this playlist collaboration will then support or inspire small business owners to sort of take ownership of their journeys and share their journeys more openly? Okay, I'm guessing we're having some problems with Mmatsheko's line. Let's take a quick promo. We'll be right back.
Global leaders, African insights. Follow the G20 summit with Channel Africa as it happens. Midday vibes, great programming, and good company. This is Channel Africa.
All right, we're back. We're back with Mmatsheko. I don't know if you caught my last question, Mmatsheko, around the importance of Global Entrepreneurship Week, but also how this playlist is going to inspire small business owners to, to carry their journeys further and to share them openly.
I definitely heard that. So Global Entrepreneurship Week is very important. It's a community of individuals that have started businesses, that have created innovation, that have created employment within the various communities that they work in. So that on its own, it's a great initiative, and we really want to celebrate every single entrepreneur that exists. With the playlist, it is great to know that you're part of a community as an entrepreneur, that you can be motivated by others, and that you're not alone in this journey, right? And that there is a particular and specific founders playlist from entrepreneurs that are doing exactly what you're doing, and really to create a sense of community and bring in an element of creativity as well.
Okay. Also, just the SME Go as an idea, as a pitchathon, as you've named it, is quite an exciting one. So, talk to us about possibilities for the future. What does it look like for the future? Are you going to be taking other pitches, if I could call them that, for the year 2026, just in case somebody's listening and really interested in partaking and being part of the 4 million?
No, definitely. So SME Go is actually a digital platform that allows business owners to actually run, grow, and protect their businesses. It's a digital platform that you can use to access HR and payroll tools. You can use it to access accounting tools. With the Pitchathon, it's just one of the many activities that we actually have throughout the year that speak to entrepreneurs, that meet entrepreneurial needs. So with the specific one that we're speaking about for 2025, we are definitely hoping to repeat it in 2026, from about June. We'll probably have the new call to entries, but that's also highly dependent on budgets. But with that said, the intention is to definitely support entrepreneurs. It's to definitely continue with our annual pitchathon. So yes, we are looking forward to having a 2026 pitchathon, which is just one of the many things that we do as Old Mutual SME Go.
Okay. Thank you for that. So yes, I guess if you really want to upscale your business or partake in the pitchathon, I mean, if you go on oldmutual.co.za and /pitchathon, you'll be able to get a wealth of information. There are contact details, their email addresses, a contact number on there as well that you can that you can see, and also some pitchathon winners for the year 2025. I see my favorites there from eFarmer, Miss Pretty there as well, which is so wonderful to see. It was great to connect with you, Mmatsheko. Thank you so much, and all the best with SME Go for what's left of 2025.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The voice of Mmatsheko Mosito. She is head of marketing SME at Old Mutual Corporate, and we're talking about Old Mutual's SME Go Pitchathon for 2025, and also its collaboration with Spotify for an entrepreneurial soundtrack. Really novel idea. We're 27 minutes into 1 p.m.
Celebrate generosity. Celebrate you. Channel Africa. Life with gratitude. Visit our new website or download our new app today.
Bado hatujafika huku, njiani kuna vita, subira itahitajika, shida mitihani, binadamu tumeumbiwa, na mapenzi ni burudani, toka enzi tuliambiwa, umeleta furaha kipindi cha mashaka, moyo ulipakwamika, umeutakasa, sababu sina sababu, nikiulizwa nimependa nini kungojea. Na kukamatia juu na kukamatia chini, watu wote wanajua na kukamatia mimi. Wanafiki wa mbea watakamatia nini? Acha waende watu roge, situkamatie dini. Story za mapenzi si tunafaa, washasemaga mengi miaka kadhaa, na bado tuna trend usiku na saa. Sisi uko na Mnyamwezi kibana ba habibi, siri ndogo ndogo nifichie, kama nikikosa niambie, na nikipatia unisifie babe. Habibi, siri ndogo ndogo nifichie, kama nikikosa niambie, na nikipatia unisifie
sababu sina sababu, ukiulizwa nimependa nini sina jawabu.
Sijui wewe wako boda popote tutatembea
Bill Nass coming through with Boda. It is 1:30 on the digital clock, the first hour of the Upside. Let's catch up with sports. Figile Lingwati is standing by.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
We kick off with football news. Botswana head coach Morena Ramurebuli has outlined why he believes Bafana Bafana boss Hugo Broos was exactly the right appointment for South Africa. Ramurebuli, himself South African, once had a complex relationship with SAFA and was even considered for a role within Broos's technical team during the early stages of the Belgian's tenure, a path he ultimately did not pursue. With Bafana having secured a place at the FIFA World Cup for the first time since 2002, Ramurebuli says methods for Broos were precisely what the national team needed.
Coach Hugo has done a tremendous work, honestly. I think one thing that happened, Coach Hugo came in at the time when I think the hope was lost. It needed someone to come in and try to implement things that will help, which I think it worked for him, because the first thing that he did was to try and make sure that he get maybe a young group of players. Secondly, the consistency in terms of player selection. Thirdly, I think being as honest as you can, because with Coach Hugo, it has always been yes or no.
The Zebramento, however, warned Bafana to guard against complacency at the AFCON, where they will face Angola, Egypt and Zimbabwe in the group stage.
To be honest, the number of matches that the players have played locally and those that are playing outside, I think it's good number for us, good minutes. And it also says to us we have a good number of players we can pick for the Africa Cup of Nations. And I think the other thing that is very good for players to play in the Africa Cup of Nations, the motivation on its own.
Namibia women's national football team defender Vewe Kuchipati has confirmed her decision to retire from international football. Kuchipati, who has represented the Brave Gladiators since she was a teenager, leaves at the age of 33, having also enjoyed the opportunity to play abroad. She has plied her trade in Germany for more than a decade, playing for Arminia Bielefeld, Borussia Mönchengladbach II, and currently with FC St. Pauli. Kuchipati says she's grateful for the opportunity she was given and will now shift her focus to just club football. The 33-year-old also works as a teacher in Germany while juggling her own career as a player, and is eager to give back to women's football in her own homeland. Proteas South Africa's fast bowler Kagiso Rabada has been ruled out of the second test against India starting in Guwahati tomorrow, as well as the upcoming white ball series due to the rib bone stress injury sustained in the build-up to the last week's first test in Kolkata. The injury has been closely monitored by the Proteas medical team, and due to ongoing discomfort in the affected area, Rabada has been withdrawn from the remainder of the tour. Selectors called up Andile Phehlukwayo as precautionary measure earlier in the week should another fast bowling option be required for the Guwahati test. The Proteas lead the series 1-0 and only require a draw in the second test for the first test series victory on Indian soil in 25 years. Germany completed a remarkable come back to beat Argentina in a thrilling doubles decider and set up a Davis Cup semi-final against Spain. Kevin Kravitz and Tim Puerz saved 3 match points in a final set tie break to overcome Horacio Zeballos and Andres Molteni 4-6, 6-4, 7-6, 12-10 tiebreaker in a grueling contest lasting 2 hours and 31 minutes. Argentina had put the first point on the board when world number 60th Thomas Echeverry hit 23 aces to beat Jan-Lennart Schaff 7-6, 7-3 tiebreaker, 7-6 and 9-7 tiebreaker in a high-quality encounter. But world number 3 Alexander Zverev launched Germany's recovery, beating world number 21st Francisco Cerundolo 6-7, 7-6, 7-3 tiebreaker to force the deciding doubles. Spain will meet Germany in Bologna on Saturday, with 2-time defending champions Italy taking on Belgium in the first semi-final today. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Figile Lingwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. With gratitude for the voices, the rhythm, and the dreams that unite us all.
Roho ya Afrika inaishi katika kila hadithi tunayosimulia.
Each new day is a gift, a reminder to pause, to breathe, and to give thanks for the laughter we share and the journeys we take and the stories that shape who we are.
Cada nascer do sol, lembre-te de algo pelo qual ser grato.
La vie est un voyage, parcourons-la avec gratitude.
Channel Africa, celebrate the beauty of life with gratitude for the voices, the rhythms, and the dreams that unite us all. This is Africa with Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Let's get a business news update. Thabiso Lohoko has the latest.
Business news on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Thanks, Mmatsheko, and good afternoon. South African mobile operator Cell C's listing on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange was priced at 26.50 rands per share, below a previously set range of 29.50 35.50 rands. The offer comprises up to 173.40 million ordinary shares, alongside an additional 9.52 million shares available through an allotment option, collectively representing up to 53.8% of Cell C's issued share capital post-listing. Cell C is majority owned by Blue Label Unlimited through its subsidiary, the Prepaid Company. China's embassy in the Central African Republic has warned that its citizens risk becoming mining slaves in the politically unstable nation's gold trade. This as Chinese workers look to sub-Saharan Africa as jobs in the Asian giant's economy dry up. The embassy says that Chinese nationals have been killed or kidnapped by armed groups and even their supposed business partners, while others were scammed out of large sums of money and deported for illegal mining. Workers from China have streamed into resource-rich sub-Saharan Africa, chasing their fortune as gold prices surge amid large-scale Chinese state-backed buying, while jobs in China's construction sites and factories evaporate as the world's largest economy slows. China has signed a $1.4 billion agreement with Zambia and Tanzania to modernize the Tazara railway link in landlocked Zambia to the Indian Ocean. The railway, financed by China in the 1970s to facilitate copper exports and fuel imports through Tanzania, remains a critical trade route and is widely seen as countering the US and EU-backed Lobito corridor, a route from Angola through to the Democratic Republic of Congo. The agreement was signed during a visit to Zambia by Chinese President Li Qiang, the first such visit in 28 years, at a time when Africa's second largest copper producer is emerging from a financial crisis. Qiang says the refurbishment cements relations between China and Africa.
We should strengthen infrastructure connectivity, consolidating railway, roads, ports, and other infrastructure to build multi-modal transport corridor and a modern logistics system. On the other hand, we should strengthen institutional connectivity concerning customs, commodity inspection, and taxes to promote greater facilitation of trade and investment. Looking into the future, China-Africa cooperation enjoys vast prospects.
The Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, says it is unacceptable that it costs African countries 20% more to trade with each other than with nations outside the continent. Speaking at the annual Chief Albert Memorial Lecture at the University of KwaZulu-Natal, Okonjo-Iweala said Africa has not benefited fully from the multilateral trading system and remains poorly integrated into global markets. She also called for the introduction of an African visa to help cut the cost of doing business across borders and boost trade within the continent.
We must continue the battle. And that's what makes me wake up every day, because we have not benefited enough on the African continent. We cannot allow the ladder that allowed others to climb up to be kicked away. We are getting ready. We must battle for it.
Oil prices fell more than 2%, extending declines for a third session as the United States pushed for a Russia-Ukraine peace deal that could swell global supply, while uncertainty over interest rates curbed investors' risk appetite. Brent crude futures dropped by $1.40 or 2.2% to $61.98 a barrel. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude was down 2.5% or $1.48 at $57.52. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,453 naira. In Botswana, it's at 13 pula 47. Kenya, 128 shilling 97. In Zambia, 22 kwacha 86. The BRICS countries in Brazil, the dollar there will cost you 5 ruble 33. Russia, 80 rubles 30. India, 88 rupees 66. China, 71.10. And in South Africa, the dollar will cost you 17 rand 20 cents. 76 pence to the British pound and 86 to the euro. Gold is trading at $4,040. Platinum, $1,507 per ounce. Brent crude oil is at $62.32 a barrel. For any business stories you would like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business in Johannesburg, I'm Tabisolo Hugo.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the upside.
18 minutes to go till it is 2 p.m. in Central African time. Welcome to the Upside with Mmatsheko Mosito until 4 p.m. So SABC News Channel 404 is your official host broadcast for the G20 Summit. From 5:30 to 11, catch live coverage on SABC2 with continuous G20 programming from 5:30 until midnight on SABC News Channel 404. You can also stream SABC News Live on the dedicated G20 pop-up channel on SABC+. Don't miss a moment of the G20 Summit with SABC News.
Be inspired. Stay informed. Channel Africa, the beauty of life. Now available anytime, anywhere with our new app.
Madapiri bazoshitika. Madapiri bazoshitika.
Inogeka zingeni chihana lumbiritsidwa kukhala wachiwiri kwa mtsogoleri wa dziko la Malawi pa mwambo omwe unachitika ku nyumba ya chifumu ya Sanjika mu mzinda wa Blantyre. Ndiye pano tili ndi olemekezeka achihana. Takulandirani olemekezeka pano pa wireless ya Channel Africa pa Chinyanja Service. Amalawi ayembekezere zotani kuchokera kwa inu ngati wachiwiri winanso kwa president wa dzikolo.
choyamba ngati vice president umagwira ntchito yopatsidwa ndi president imene yakuganizira ndiye malowozi athu atipatsa bwinobwino koma ntchito yathu yayikulu ndikuwathandiza president kuti masomphenya awo yakwanitsidwe mbali zambiri zoti zichitike nkhani ya njala mdziko muno boma la udakali chimanga ndi china chomwe chili mdziko muno kuti tithandize families are affected. Chachiwiri kunali ma fuel shortages amene akanaliponso apo ndi apo tionetsetse kuti pumps athu asakhale dry.
zochitika pa nthawi ya 6 koloko kufikira 7 koloko madzulo lolemba mpaka lachisanu ndi madapiri.
We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the upside.
Thank you very much for staying with us. We're still in the first hour. So the South African Social Media Awards are making a return next year for their 5th anniversary. What started as a platform to recognize digital talent has grown into a national celebration of the creators who are shaping conversations and also inspiring communities and influencing culture across the country. Well, we're talking about South Africa here. So, under the theme Kings and Queens of Mzansi, the SAMSA 2025 will honor the people whose work rather defines South Africa's online world and also pushes our creative boundaries. This year's awards spotlight the growing value of the digital economy, from rising stars to well-known creators. SAMSA brings together the voices that are going to be reflecting the full range of South Africa's creative landscape. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the awards with the director of SAMSA, Weza Matomane, joining me on the line. Weza, welcome to Channel Africa. Pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you also for having me.
All right. 5 years and going strong. When you look back at the journey from where it started, Weza, what can you tell us? What can you tell us about the growth into this national cultural movement that we're seeing SAMSA moving into?
You know, the South African Social Media Awards have really grown from strength to strength. You know, if I think about where we started 5 years ago, all of this has been something that started off just as a vision, you know, young people coming together and saying, how about we create something to celebrate young people using social media for a positive and its positive impacts, you know. Let's look at how we can uplift each other. Let's create a platform that recognizes excellence and in such a way bridge the gap between the influencer economy and the brands that you know that can market and use this content creator economy effectively. In a way, we've also been trying to make this an answer to youth unemployment and just make sure that, you know, we are looking at social media in a way that can actually answer or open some doors for young people, you know, and it's grown so well from where it started. The interest in the public has just been overwhelming, and we see that actually there was a need for this, and it's really, really something absolutely fantastic. I just almost have no words to just describe the amazing feedback that we've been getting from the influencer economy and beyond.
Right. Having no words is a good sign. It's a good sign that you're on the right track, Weza. Let's talk about the theme, 2025, Kings and Queens of Mzansi. What does this theme represent, I think, in the context of South Africa currently and also in honoring the creators?
So it is about crowning the content kings and queens of Mzansi. You know, if we think of just the theme of just this year or just a couple of past years, we've been, if you think of, let's say, shows like Shaga Ilembe as an example, we are starting to really be proud of where we come from, be proud of our South Africanness, and we're saying, come and be proud of who you are, come and be proud of your culture, what makes you different. But in a way, we're also saying, let's bring that back and also, you know, celebrate the success of how we are using social media effectively. So we're just playing on the idea of awarding and crowning, you know, our content kings and queens, and we're bringing that African theme of royalty into it. And what I like is how the influencers, especially the fashion influencers, take these type of things seriously in how they dress up and how they show up to the awards. So I'm looking forward to seeing some amazing looks there. But yeah, ultimately it's about a celebration of great content for the year and how people are using social media in the best ways possible.
All right, we are spotlighting the South African Social Media Awards, and on the line with me is the director of the awards, Weza Matomane. And I'd like us to really look at the space of the digital economy and the role that it's playing in creative industries. But let's take a break. We'll be right back.
This weekend, South Africa will host the G20 Summit at the Nasrec Expo Center near Soweto. And Channel Africa will be right there to bring you live updates, interviews, and real-time insights from the main venue. And so, our regular lineup will be adjusted just a little bit for this weekend to accommodate the G20. On Saturday, the 22nd of November, the Oasis will broadcast for 2 hours. Out and About takes a break for a full look at the G20. After Africa Chart Toppers, our news and current affairs team will bring you special live broadcasts in 5 different languages directly from Nasrec. And normal programming will resume at 8 p.m. Central African Time. And then on Sunday, the 23rd of November, the Oasis will also broadcast for 2 hours. Tech Africa steps aside for our news and current affairs teams to bring you special live broadcasts in 5 different languages. Then, Planting the Seed resumes from 1 p.m. till 2 p.m. Central African Time. Channel Africa, your window to the continent, connecting you to the world in an African perspective. We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the Upside.
Welcome back as we talk about rising stars and well-known creators for the South African Social Media Awards. And they're back with a bang, okay? With a big theme that is really about highlighting creative spaces in social media and contributing to creative economy, or the creative economy as we see it in South Africa. The theme for 2025 is Kings and Queens of Mzansi. Weza Matomane joining me in his capacity as director of SAMSA on the line. Weza, let's talk about the role that these awards are playing, but also the grand scheme of the creative industry. What trends and shifts have stood out for you as you prepared for this year's awards?
That's actually quite interesting. So, firstly, I would like to just give you a tiny correction. It's the SASMA Awards, ne?
SASMA, yes.
Yes, thank you. So, as we were preparing for the SASMA Awards, one of the big things that took headlines actually this year was SARS finally noticing that, hey, there's an entire economy here, the influencer economy, and they actually quantified it as being worth 500 billion. And they felt like there's an opportunity, to recognize these people as businesses and to actually introduce some tax, laws, or at least to encourage them to be part of, the economy in contributing tax wise and finding ways to legitimize what they're doing. And as a result, we're also looking at how can we support the influencers, especially beyond just the awards. So we've got Mkiva Accountants, for instance, which is one of our partners and one of the main sponsors. And it's about trying to say, how can we start creating educational programs or workshops where we can get these influencers to just be tech savvy, because they are becoming serious businesses now. And that is very encouraging if you think about it. A youngster normally would have to say to his mom and dad, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a scientist, so I want to be an engineer. But now there's so much being money being made in the content creator economy, that a youngster can actually also say, I want to be a content creator. And that is a legitimate career path, because you're seeing SARS is like, hey, 500 billion, there's definitely something here. So it's exciting. And it's good that our young people can pick up the phone no matter where they live, whether you are in Kriel or whether in the Eastern Cape or in the Northern Cape in Kuruman. You can take out your phone and create content and create a living for yourself and provide for yourself and maybe even for your family. Start small, but we're seeing more and more people rising from different parts of South Africa, and that's exciting. People's content is starting to even go beyond borders, and so many more doors are opening. So it's really exciting. That's really what we want social media to be, an answer to youth unemployment and a way for people to actually make more out of what they have.
Right. I mean, I need to bring your personal story into the fold, because I think it's such a critical part of what we're seeing happening with the award ceremony. Because you've been in entertainment for a long time, and you've been, leading spaces in voiceovers and other spaces in entertainment. So talk to us about I mean, obviously you were there before there was artificial intelligence and content creation and all these wonderful things that we're seeing blossoming at the moment. How have you personally made the shift from traditional ways of doing the work that you do to putting yourself online and being successful at that? Perhaps this can be like a little masterclass in your response.
Thank you. And I appreciate you going into my personal stories as well. How things were done before the age of social media is that it was all based on some sort of big agency needs to know that you exist first and foremost. And you either had to have an uncle, an aunt, or somebody who knows somebody who can introduce you to somebody that matters. Either it was that, or you would send your emails to people, but then they would just go into the junk folder with all the other people who are also trying to knock on that same door. And we felt that the industry was kind of locked out. And if you remember, there was a time where there was, even as social media was starting to become a thing with Twitter, there used to be this hashtag open up the industry, because people felt like they're locked out. Even if it was radio, it felt like there's only these 8 stars that are allowed to be radio stars, and everyone else was just supposed to be content with being on the sideline or in the stands and saying, wow, how I would love to do that one day, but unfortunately I don't know the right people and the right people don't know me. And ever since social media came about, it has been something that can allow people to get discovered even beyond what the conventional methods were. Now I would take my phone, and I started doing, while I was doing the voiceovers I was doing, I would just take out the phone and start recording and then post that. And why I was doing it when I started out was to give Ujabu, Usipo, Utembi from the village or from the township another perspective as to other careers that they can also go for, to say, hey, this thing, I know we don't have money at home for XYZ, but yazi kudala abantu besithi, I've got this voice. Maybe I can do what Weza does. And the more they see Weza's videos, the more they can believe that, hey, man, this guy created another video and another video and another. Clearly, there's a career here. He actually makes a living speaking. Now, I can do this. So that's why I was doing it. But it actually also started opening up even more doors for me. More people started discovering me. More people started saying, hey, we want to use you. We saw your video on the thing. And I was like, how did you even know I exist? But it's because of social media that, then I'm the voice of this and the voice of that. And more opportunities are opening up because of social media. So I've really seen it in my personal life too, how social media can definitely open up your doors and give you more and more opportunities. And that's why we think, social media is so wonderful, and why we think that we want to create a platform to kind of bridge that gap, so that if you say, hey, I now charge 20 or 50,000 for a post, someone says, why ungbanwen? You say, no, I'm an award-winning somebody, or I am at least a SASMA nominated, a content creator in the beauty category or the travel category or something like that, just to legitimize these influencers so that they can also feel proud of what they're doing, and that the brands can actually also engage with them in a professional way to recognize them as entrepreneurs and businesses and brands that are doing something, and by so doing, we help uplift them and get them to a place where, they can flourish and fly and inspire the next generation to do the same.
Now I'm really glad I asked you the question. Oh my goodness, that was wonderful. And it absolutely is true. For people to be able to reproduce themselves economically, you just turn on your camera and you just never know who is watching. You just never know. It could be life-changing. So beautiful. So Weza, as we wrap up, let's talk about, SASMA, the actual ceremony. What can audiences expect from this year's ceremony that we possibly haven't experienced before?
Awesome. So the ceremony is happening on the 22nd of November. That is Saturday. That's basically this Saturday at the Mosaic Theatre. It's the same venue we used last year. So so what one can expect is, an even more elaborate setup. We've got so many people supporting us. We've got young people who are creating exhibitions. We've got so many youth-owned brands that are actually saying, I'll pick up my hand and I'll be part of this and I'll support it in whichever way I can. And that's beautiful because the big brands haven't yet come on board and said, hey, here's what we're going to be doing from a major sponsorship point of view. They are interested, but they just want to kind of see where this is going and so on. But the youth-owned brands, the small businesses, they're the ones that say, let's help like this, let's help like that. And we're very, very proud of the partnerships that we've been able to get. We're also very happy and very proud of SABC One for also being on board this year. So expect to see the awards on SABC Plus and as a delayed broadcast somewhere down the line on SABC One as well. So we're really, really excited about all of that and more.
Man, it sounds absolutely amazing, and congratulations on having come this far with the ceremony celebrating your 5th anniversary. All the best for tomorrow, and we send big love to the stars in the galaxy that are going to be winners for tomorrow night. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you again for the opportunity. I hope you guys have a lovely day.
Thank you. Weza Matomane, director at the South African Social Media Awards. Kings and Queens of Mzansi is the theme for this year. It is 2 p.m. in Central African time. Let's do a quick catch up with the latest in news.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the opportunity.
The African Perspective.
Thank you, Mmatsheko. Our top stories are Sawa optimism over the decision to officially declare gender-based violence and femicide a national disaster in South Africa, and all ports of entry across South Africa remain stable and incident-free. Good afternoon. South Africa's Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister Velenkosini Hlabisa has welcomed the decision to officially declare gender-based violence and femicide a national disaster. This as women and men across the country embark on a shutdown, bringing focus to the escalating violence against women and children in the country. The National Disaster Management Centre has classified GBVF as a national disaster in terms of Section 23 of the Disaster Management Act. COGTA spokesperson Pearl Mmaseko says ongoing acts of violence prompted the conclusion that GBVF meets the threshold of being a potential disaster.
This decisive action follows a thorough reassessment of previous reports and updated submissions from organs of state as well as civil organizations. After evaluating the persistent and immediate life safety risks posed by ongoing acts of violence, the National Disaster Management Centre has concluded that GBVF now meets the threshold of a potential disaster as defined in the Act.
Meanwhile, the union buildings in Pretoria is filled with over 1,000 people from all walks of life united in their call to end gender-based violence. Men and women, young and old, have come together to say enough is enough. Men who joined the movement say women need to be protected and not killed. Kamohelo Metsing and Keegan MSC Ray have called for violence against women to stop.
When women birth us as men and build society through that, it's something a man can never experience. And if we are to harm the people who basically birth our nation, then what future do we have for ourselves, and what do we think of ourselves in the same way?
I would just like to know why the rest of the country, we don't go out and violate women. Why do they? I would like to know. It's not, I don't have a message. It's disgusting.
The Border Management Authority says all ports of entry across South Africa remain stable and incident-free as delegations continue to arrive for the G20 summit. BMA Commissioner Dr. Michael Masiabato says heads of state, senior government officials and various high-level teams have been landing throughout the past 24 hours with no disruptions. Arrivals already processed include EU President Ursula von der Leyen, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, Malaysian President Anwar Ibrahim, the President of the European Council Antonio Costa, Vietnam's Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh, China's Premier Li Qiang and UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, among others. More delegations are expected to arrive throughout the day. BMA Deputy Assistant Commissioner for Communications and Marketing, Mimme Mokgotsi.
Despite the heightened security environment, increased traveller volumes and the complex coordination required across multiple ports of entries, all arrivals were processed efficiently. Our system across key ports of entries are fully operational, supported by the BMA ICT technicians deployed strategically at OR Tambo International Airport, Lanseria International Airport, Waterkloof Air Force Base.
Nigeria's High Court has convicted detained separatist leader Nnamdi Kanu on terrorism charges and sentenced him to life imprisonment. The verdict was read in his absence after the leader of the outlawed organization, the indigenous people of Biafra, was ejected from the court after repeated interruptions. The court said it was satisfied that Kanu had made a series of broadcasts to incite violence and killings as part of his campaign for a separate state in southeast Nigeria known as Biafra. Kanu, who's been in prison since 2001, denied all the charges. The European Union's top diplomat has said the EU will support any plan that brings just and lasting peace to Ukraine after President Volodymyr Zelensky received a draft proposal for the US. Kaja Kallas reiterated that any such plan would need to have Kyiv and its European allies on board. Details of the American proposals have not been confirmed officially, but media reports indicate it's heavily based on Moscow's demands. The BBC's John Beale is in Kyiv.
What we've seen so far, and again I repeat, this is a draft document, but what we've seen so far, it does reflect a lot of the demands that Russia has been making of Ukraine, such as cutting the size of its armed forces, also giving up parts of the Donbass. And there are concerns that it favours one side over the other. Now, that said, Washington has said that both sides will have to make difficult concessions.
Recapping the top story this hour, South Africa's Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister Velenkosini Hlabisa has welcomed the decision to officially declare gender-based violence and femicide a national disaster. This as women and men across the country have embarked on a shutdown, bringing focus to the escalating violence against women and children in the country. For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Jolani Tulo Wepe.
SABC News. The African Perspective. The afternoon conversations continue on The Upside. Lifestyle, culture, and global changes. Right here on Channel Africa, The African Perspective.
minutes into 2 p.m. Central African time. Welcome to the second hour of The Upside as we open gateways into many different places and spaces. And because it's Friday, we are getting groovy with it, okay? We're on the dance floor today with Harrison Crump as he talks about his evolution in the space of music from Chicago as a producer to being an international force that has shaped house, gospel, and hip-hop music genres. Okay, we're going to talk to him live in studio as he talks to us about how he has built a career in the space of music. As I've mentioned, in production, he's also a seasoned remixer. He sings as well. I mean, South Africans absolutely adore Harrison Crump. So we have him live in studio and we're going to have a beautiful hangout conversation. If you've never heard of Harrison Crump, listen. You got to listen and acquaint yourself. Otherwise, if this is a name that is familiar to you, I'm sure you'd want to know what is happening in his life currently. He is an award-winning artist as well. So we're going to talk about some of those accolades that have formed part of his success or that have held up his success and made him well known as an internationally acclaimed DJ and producer. Otherwise, SABC News Channel 404 is your official host broadcast for the G20 Summit. From 5:30 to 11, catch live coverage on SABC2 with continuous G20 programming from 5:30 until midnight on SABC News Channel 404. You can also stream SABC News Live on the dedicated G20 pop-up channel that's on SABC Plus. Don't miss a moment of the G20 Summit with SABC News.
A atenção do mundo está em Joanesburgo. Líderes das maiores economias do planeta reúnem-se para tomar decisões que irão moldar o futuro das nações e dos mercados. O Channel África está no centro dos acontecimentos a trazer-lhe as conversas, análises e perspectivas que realmente importam. A cimeira do G20 nos dias 22 e 23 de novembro sob uma perspectiva africana em tempo real. Acompanhe tudo no Channel África.
Africa Update on Channel Africa with Lulu Kabu.
Mozambique's opposition leader Venancio Mondlane has been charged with incitement to terrorism and disobedience. He faces a total of 5 charges. The charges relate to post-election violence that left hundreds of people dead. What punishment is he looking at?
The most severe charges are 2. One is incitement for terrorism and also is being charged for mobilizing people for terrorism during the protests. These charges are really serious and severe. If he is condemned, is found guilty, he could serve 10 years plus years in jail, meaning that he would be banned from political participation, mainly for the 2028 and 2029 electoral cycle.
The director of CDD, the Center for Democracy and Development, Adriano Novunga.
Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, 12 to 1 p.m. Central African Time. Your afternoons just got even better. Fresh and exciting. The Upside, hooking you up with today's news from an African perspective.
Night and day we gon' live our life. When we dance we gon' be alright. Take the rhythm of the beat, move it with your feet. Only you and me can go higher. Night and day we gon' live our life. When we dance we gon' be alright. Take the rhythm of the beat, move it with your feet. Only you and me can go higher. From the moon to the stars we gon' party on Mount Zion. We'll be dancing on cousins and music won't stop by, yeah. Come on, let's go. dance, we gon' be alright. Take the rhythm of the beat, move it with your feet. Only you and me can go higher. Night and day, we gon' live our life. When we dance, we gon' be alright. Take the rhythm of the beat, move it with your feet. Only you and me can go higher.
I feel like the music has made me a dancer. The rhythm has caught me on so many levels. I know we'll be dancing until the sun goes down. So take off your shoes, let's dance till the sunrise. One, I'll be moving your way. Two, we won't stop till we're there. Three, I'll just step to these chords. I gotta dance some more.
Night and day, we gon' live our life. When we dance, we gon' be alright. Take the rhythm of the beat, move it with your feet.
Oh, coming through with another dance floor filler for the summer of 2025. Miraz featuring Harrison Crump. Move Your Feet is the title of the song. I mean, listen, that's all you got to do this spring, summer. Just move your feet and get dancing for this dance floor filler as we have the superstar in studio. His name is Harrison Crump. Before we talk to him, the countdown is on. We are just 30 days away from the AFCON for 2025, starting on the 21st of December to the 18th of January 2026. You can catch all 52 matches live on SABC2, SABC Plus, and across your favorite SABC radio stations. SABC Sport is the official broadcaster of AFCON 2025. It's game on everywhere.
Broadcasting in 5 different languages, connecting the continent. This is Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Yes. Now you've got the soundtrack for the day, okay? Or shall we just call it the soundtrack for the spring summer of 2025 with Harrison Crump's brand new hit titled Move Your Feet. So yes, a name that you can associate with the city of Chicago, which is where he grew up, and he just became one very respected DJ in the space of dance music. He built a career as a producer, as a seasoned remixer, a singer, a songwriter, a DJ, you name it, with a catalog that has traveled across continents. His work spans into genres like house music, obviously. That's where most South Africans got to fall in love with him. Gospel music, hip-hop is another genre that he specializes in. And he has been supported by many collaborations over his career, working with several labels and several artists like the one that you heard in Move Your Feet. Okay? And guess what? He's here. He's in studio.
Yeah,
in the flesh.
Yes, that was a good introduction.
Don't you just want to hire me to be your hype woman?
Yeah, exactly. You know, that was very nice. Thank you. You know, it's a pleasure to hear some of them things. You know.
Yeah, and reflect on the journey.
Yeah.
And reflect on the fact that you have been nominated for Metro of Awards, and that you've shared stages with the late great Double HP.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
You've done amazing things, and South Africans absolutely love you. So, growing up in Chicago, do you want to tell us about that city? I mean, for those of somebody like me who's never been to Chicago,
wow.
I would love to know what the what the music scene is like, or what the characteristics of that place are like.
How long we got?
10 years. I'm kidding.
No. It's just growing up in Chicago. You know, I was a young kid. You know, and I wanted to do music. I was young, and I had sisters at the time. Well, I had sisters, and my mother was divorced, and she didn't want me to get into drugs and gangs. So I just asked her, like, hey, can I go to parties? You know. And she was like, yeah. I said, can I stay out late? You know, I won't get into drugs and gangs. You let me party. She was like, okay, no problem. And that's how I got into music. You know, I was always in the club late, you know, and it kept me off the streets. And that's a short story, you know, just beginning from there. Then I went away to school, to college, and I took music in school, and I failed music actually in school, to be honest. I don't know what happened
Interesting.
there, you know, but but I passed film, but I failed music. And then I was working, doing odd jobs, and still going to school, and got a couple of small record deals. got a small record deal, and in Chicago, you know, it was a little bit rough, you know, and the winter makes it rough too. Then summer comes, you know, so it makes you a man there, you know. Chicago is just it's no joke, you know. But it is the city of house, where house was born.
Right.
So that's where I got that background from.
All right. Thank you for that.
Short story.
Yeah, that it's a city of house music, because that was actually going to be my question around then the dance music, because you know, music was a remedial activity for you, but you clearly were in the right place to be able to be a scholar in the space of house and dance music. Yeah, and then talk to us about how your journey unfolded, how it became something that took you off the streets, as per instruction by your mama, to something that became a fully fledged passion and career.
Well, I was going to school for computer science at the time, you know, and I was like, man, I wasn't really doing too good in college, but my mother was like, boy, you better stay in school, boy. And I was like, yeah. So I stayed in school, and I was just doing tracks here and there, and then I stopped going to school, and then I got this job at the stock market. You know, stock market, you know, sell one, buy one. So I used to work there. So
interesting.
I had made an error, like around $20,000 error. So they're like, man, we got to fire you. I was like, man. And I had just my daughter was just born at the time. And I'm like, man, what I'm going to do now? You know, and I was making some tracks on the side, selling little tracks here and there. Then one of my friends said, hey, man, this is label in New York looking for some music. And I'm like, okay, cool. He says, it's a big label called Subliminal Records out of New York, New Jersey. Say, why don't you send your tracks there? I said, well, nobody knew who I am, so I can send a demo, but demos took a long time to get to somebody back then.
Yes.
So anyway, long story short, they called my friend right back. They had his name on it. He put his name on it because his name was bigger than mine at the time. And they like, hey, man, we need this track. And they said, how much you want to pay for it? They said, no, we pay you $5,000. I said, $5,000? Yeah, that's a lot of money. I said, okay, cool. Then I made another track 2 weeks later.
Right.
And they loved that one even better. And I never went back to work ever again. So it was good that I got fired from that job, because I was just making mediocre tracks at the time. So I was like, man, you know what? I need to really put some work into these songs. So that's a short story, you know, what kind of path my way is that, like, my job was kind of blocking me from becoming who I thought I could really be, you know, at the time.
Right. DJ, singer, producer, remixer, and I'm going to add storyteller to that profile.
Okay.
You're an amazing storyteller,
okay.
so
Thanks,
I
man.
really enjoyed that story because you really kind of make us feel what you were feeling in that moment. We're going to talk about the cross-genre space and also talk about a hit that literally became the soundtrack and the anthem for many South Africans, Ride, you know, and what you thought made that special. But let's take a break. We'll be right back.
This weekend, South Africa will host the G20 Summit at the Nasrec Expo Center near Soweto. And Channel Africa will be right there to bring you live updates, interviews, and real-time insights from the main venue. And so, our regular lineup will be adjusted just a little bit for this weekend to accommodate the G20. On Saturday, the 22nd of November, the Oasis will broadcast for 2 hours. Out and About takes a break for a full look at the G20. After Africa Chart Toppers, our news and current affairs team will bring you special live broadcasts in 5 different languages directly from Nasrec. And normal programming will resume at 8 p.m. Central African Time. And then on Sunday, the 23rd of November, the Oasis will also broadcast for 2 hours. Tech Africa steps aside for our news and current affairs teams to bring you special live broadcasts in 5 different languages. Then, Planting the Seed resumes from 1 p.m. till 2 p.m. Central African Time. Channel Africa, your window to the continent, connecting you to the world in an African perspective. Celebrate life every day. Tune in to Channel Africa. Stay connected through our new website and free mobile app. We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the Upside.
22 minutes into 2 p.m. in Central African Time. A pleasure to have you join us. Thanks for audio streaming on channel 802 on the DSTV audio bouquet. Otherwise, you can watch the show live. We're streaming audio visually on YouTube as well as Facebook. Just search for Channel Africa. You will be able to find us there. We have Chicago's finest in the house. Okay, Harrison Crump is joining me in studio, and we're talking to him, of course. I mean, the name that's synonymous with fine production work, with singing, with DJing, remixing, all the good stuff. It's actually a celebration today of his new offering with Mirrors, titled Move Your Feet. You may have heard that song as we played it earlier in opening the gates of this hour, but he's got a mix for us, and I'm hoping that that song is in the mix as well. But we're talking all things music with Harrison Crump. Talk to us about some of the music. I mean, Rise being one of them, the song that you did with WHP that got nominated for a really big national award. What do you think it is about your brand of house music that resonated so deeply with South Africans?
I think all the songs and hits that I've had here, they all sound different, But I think it's got a lot to do with songwriting. I think hooks and choruses really impact South Africa's sound somewhat. I mean, there's a lot of people that can do somewhat production, but that when it comes down to actually producing a vocal, writing a hit song, that's another subject. It's easy to go on a computer and do Fruity Loops,
Yeah. Which you clearly don't recommend by the sound of things.
But I'm just saying,
yeah,
it's one of the things, So I've just been blessed, to be able to still be making music, with Mirrors, different people, different other artists I work with. Actually, from here, other artists that I blessed here, Soul Candy, blessed with a lot of compilation hits and stuff, and still been in the game, still gigging and stuff. I've just been doing this 35 years now, so I'm just been blessed.
That is a blessing.
Yeah.
That is a blessing because the music industry or entertainment is quite ruthless.
Yeah, it's bad.
So
kill you in 5 years, you can be done quick.
That is true.
Yeah.
But you have stood the test of time, sir. Yes, and that's what we're celebrating.
Yeah.
House music, gospel, hip hop. That is a very sacred triad, and I know that those are genres that are quite significant in your musical journey. Just talk to us about, picking those genres as those that resonate with you at a soul level.
Gospel, I just do a little bit, but I'm mainly a house, pop, Afro pop, R&B, then hip hop. Then gospel. But I'm mainly, as you say, 90% a house producer.
100%. Yeah.
So, but all the genres, I mean, listen, you get bored in the studio after so many years of working on music, man. I mean, I've done deep house, Afro tech house, EDM house. I've done it all, So you get bored and you want to jump over a little bit and have some fun, So, yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Let's talk about the new offering with Mirrors, Move Your Feet. I really like that song. Talk to us about the featured artist and putting the jam together.
Yeah, she's a very young artist, very young, 15 around that time,
Really?
15 years old. And her team came to me and asked me if I can, be a part of the record, and I said okay. And this particular record, I did not produce this record. I just mixed and mastered and sung and wrote on the second verse there.
Okay.
So I'm part of the song. I don't like to take credit from someone else that actually produced it, but I did mix the song, fix things there, and then I sung the ending of the second verse and was part of that song. So it's like a remix type of thing. So but when I heard it, I was like, okay, this is really nice, let me do something on it and let me support as well, the upcoming artists.
Okay, sounds wonderful. And then you are supporting a young artist. I mean, she's only 15, as you mentioned. Rising star. You've worked with great legends in your career, so you've had experiences on both spectrums. How has that shaped you as an artist?
I always say, I gig with all the artists here, everywhere, even in Europe, and different people, and it's all about, you know, you gotta always say there's always somebody's gonna come after you. Somebody another artist. You can be big. There's someone else coming. So it's all about just being humble and having that respect for people. You never know when someone's going to be the sweeper outside. You never know what they may turn out to be.
Absolutely.
You may turn around and may need their help. I'm just saying is that, like, I've been in situations to where I've always treated people like they should be treated. That's where I come from. And I think that's helped me along the way. What I'm saying, and not acting like I'm Mr. Superstar. And all that other stuff. I mean, superstar someone is Michael Jackson has sold 50 million records. So I haven't come nearly close to that. So it's like, it's just about being humble and living a regular life, and just and music is part of me. It's my job. It's not like I want to be a superstar. When you get that attitude, you got longevity. When when you want to be a superstar, other than what made you a superstar, that's when you start going left. That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's an educated opinion, sir.
Yeah.
And you've walked this walk, and you've seen what sort of holding up your career and making that determine whether you should give someone respect or not has done to others.
I think, like, just to say to people, up and coming artists, there's a lot of temptation that goes on in the music business. Plenty temptations. And it's one of the hardest business to say no in. From drugs to this to that, and if you don't do that, then you can find yourself going down a rabbit hole real quick. But I love what I do because I'm my own boss. I do what I want to. Wake up in the morning, or if I don't want to wake up in the morning, I have to wake up in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So being your own boss and doing what you love to do is refreshing.
It is refreshing, and it stays fresh. Listen, you've been doing this for over 3 decades. You got a mix for us. We're looking forward to that.
Okay.
What's in the mix?
Hey, I don't know.
You want to surprise us?
I don't know. It may go where it may go. I don't know. I'm just trying to play.
Okay, awesome stuff. Yeah. Well, it was wonderful to engage with you, Harrison Crump. Thank you very much. We're looking forward to the mix coming through in the next half hour. You are a star in the galaxy. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much, and such a great interview from you.
Thank you very much. Okay. And of course, check out that brand new single by Mirrors featuring Harrison Crump, Move Your Feet. Right now, though, we're moving our feet straight into the sports bulletin. Fikile Lingwati is standing by.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Let's bet off with cricket news. Former South Africa's women's captain Danae van Niekerk will make her comeback to international cricket in the home series against Ireland more than 4 years after her last appearance. Van Niekerk announced her retirement in March 2023 after being left out of South Africa's T20 World Cup squad for the 2023 tournament, but reversed that in August this year. She has been included in both the ODI, the One-Day International, and the T20 International squads to face Ireland in a 6-match series starting on the 5th of December. Coach Mandla Mashimbi says they didn't think twice about including her in the squad.
I think it would be a no-brainer not to pick a player who is in such good form. Obviously, a name comes with a lot of previous stuff in terms of her being captain and having done well for the team before. But I think she has earned based on the performances that she's put the last 2 seasons.
Since retiring, Van Niekerk featured briefly at the WPL but made a proper return to the domestic game for South African provincial team Western Province. Now, the door is open for her to push for a spot at the T20 World Cup. Mashimbi explains.
We all know how talented she is. We all know in terms of the knowledge of the game, what she carries from that point of view. She just needs to perform. I just wanted to just focus on winning games for this team. That's all she needs to do. There's nothing much she can do. I mean, she's got a legacy behind her in terms of what she has achieved in international cricket, and now she's got a second chance to come back and showcase what she can do, and she just needs to focus on that. And then if she's performing well, then it would mean that we're performing well as a team.
On to football news. Botswana head coach Morena Ramorebuli has outlined why he believes Bafana Bafana boss Hugo Broos was exactly the right appointment for South Africa. Ramorebuli himself, South African, once had a complex relationship with South African Football Association SAFA and was even considered for a role within Broos's technical team during the early stages of the Belgians' tenure, a path he ultimately did not pursue. Ramorebuli told the South African Football Journalists Association that Broos's methods were precisely what the national team needed.
Coach Hugo has done a tremendous work, honestly. I think one thing that happened, Coach Hugo came in at the time when I think the hope was lost. It needed someone to come in and try to implement things that will help, which I think it worked for him, because the first thing that he did was to try and make sure that he get maybe a young group of players. Secondly, the consistency in terms of player selection. Thirdly, I think being as honest as you can, because with Coach Hugo, it has always been yes or no.
The Zebra Mento, however, warned Bafana Bafana to guard against complacency at the AFCON, where they will face Angola, Egypt and Zimbabwe in the group stage.
To be honest, the number of matches that the players have played locally and those that are playing outside, I think it's good number for us, good minutes. And it also says to us we have a good number of players we can pick for the Africa Cup of Nations. And I think the other thing that is very good for players to play in the Africa Cup of Nations, the motivation on its own.
Let's wrap it up with Namibia's women's national football team defender Vewe Kuchipati has confirmed a decision to retire from international football. Kuchipati, who has represented the Brave Gladiators since she was a teenager, leaves at the age of 33, having also enjoyed the opportunity to play abroad. She has plied her trade in Germany for more than a decade, playing for Arminia Bielefeld, Borussia Mönchengladbach II, and currently with FC St. Pauli. Kuchipati says she's grateful for the opportunity she was given and will now shift her focus to just club football. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Figile Lungwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Africa, voici Abedi.
Oui, c'est moi.
Abedi est un passionné de musique dans l'âme. Il a un goût pour toutes sortes de musique et passe ses journées à écouter Channel Africa.
J'aime beaucoup la musique africaine.
Ok. Devinez quoi? Channel Africa veut aider Abedi et les mélomanes du monde entier à découvrir encore plus de musique incroyable. C'est pourquoi Channel Africa appelle les artistes africains à soumettre leur musique. Chers artistes, n'oubliez pas de nous fournir toutes vos informations pertinentes à l'email adresse musique@channelafrica.co.za. Les soumissions sont votre chance d'être entendues, mais elles ne garantissent pas une playlist. Toutes les soumissions seront soigneusement examinées pour voir si elles répondent aux exigences de notre station. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
2:36 on the digital clock. Tabiso Lohoko standing by with the latest in business news.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thanks, Mmatsheko, and good morning. South African mobile operator Cell C's listing on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange was priced at 26.50 rands per share, below a previously set range of 29.50 35.50 rands. The offer comprises up to 173.4 million ordinary shares, alongside an additional 9.52 million shares available through an allotment option, collectively representing up to 53.8% of Cell C's issued share capital post-listing. Cell C is majority owned by Blue Label Unlimited through its subsidiary, the Prepaid Company. China's embassy in the Central African Republic has warned that its citizens risk becoming mining slaves in the politically unstable nation's global trade. This as Chinese workers look to sub-Saharan Africa as jobs in the Asian giant's economy dry up. The embassy says Chinese nationals have been killed or kidnapped by armed groups and even their supposed business partners, while others were scammed out of large sums of money and deported for illegal mining. Workers from China have streamed into the resource-rich sub-Saharan Africa chasing their fortune as gold prices surge amid larger-scale Chinese state-backed buying, while jobs in China's construction sites and factories evaporate as the world's second-largest economy slows. China has signed a $1.4 billion agreement with Zambia and Tanzania to modernize the Tazara railway link in landlocked Zambia to the Indian Ocean. The railway, financed by China in the 1970s to facilitate copper exports and fuel imports to Tanzania, remains a critical trade route and is widely seen as countering the US and EU-backed Lobito Corridor, a route from Angola through Zambia to the Democratic Republic of Congo. The agreement was signed during a visit to Zambia by Chinese Premier Li Qiang, the first such visit in 28 years at a time when Africa's largest copper producer is emerging from a financial crisis. Qiang says the refurbishment cements relations between China and Africa.
We should strengthen infrastructure connectivity, consolidating railway, roads, ports, and other infrastructure to build multimodal transport corridor and a modern logistics system. On the other hand, we should strengthen institutional connectivity concerning customs, commodity inspection, and taxes to promote greater facilitation of trade and investment. Looking into the future, China-Africa cooperation enjoys vast prospects.
Japan's cabinet has approved a stimulus package with more than $30 billion. It's the first major policy initiative of the new Prime Minister Sanai Takaichi and is the largest spending plan since the COVID-19 pandemic. The BBC's Nick Marsh has the details.
The world's fourth largest economy has been struggling with poor growth and low productivity for many years now, but more recently, its people have also had to contend with rising prices. This package, Ms. Takaichi argues, will ease the pressure on households by subsidising their energy bills and lowering taxes. The downside is that this bumper package will only add to Japan's already colossal public debt, not to mention weaken its currency, which could make key imports more expensive.
European shares fell, extending a sell-off after Wall Street dropped overnight as traders continue to worry about tech stock valuations. US jobs data presented a mixed picture, adding to traders' uncertainty and diminishing hopes that the Federal Reserve will cut rates again this year. Technology stocks led Wall Street sharply lower, with a positive earnings report from chipmaker NVIDIA, not enough to dispel fears about an AI-fueled market bubble. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,453 naira. Botswana 13.47, Kenya 128 shilling 97, and Zambia 26 kwacha 86. The BRICS countries in Brazil, the dollar there will cost you 5 ruble 33, Russia 80 rubles 30, India 88 rupees 66, China 71.10, and in South Africa the dollar will cost you 17 rand 20 cents. 76 pence, British pound, 86 to the euro. Gold $4,040, platinum $1,507 per ounce. Brand crude oil is at $62.32 a barrel. For any business stories you would like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business in Johannesburg, I'm Tabiso Lohogo.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Parlez-vous couramment le français? Êtes-vous passionné par la radio? Et êtes-vous qualifié pour travailler en Afrique du Sud? Envoyez-nous votre CV et votre 3 minutes démo en MP3 à @channelafrica.co.za pour avoir une chance de rejoindre la famille Channel Africa. Si vous n'avez pas de réponse après 14 jours, cela signifie que vous n'avez pas été retenu. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the upside.
SABC Channel 404 is your official host broadcaster for the G20 Summit. From 5:30 to 11, catch live coverage on SABC2 with continuous G20 programming from 5:30 until midnight on SABC News Channel 404. You can also stream SABC News live on the dedicated G20 pop-up channel on SABC Plus. Don't miss the moment of G20 Summit with SABC News.
The G20 Summit through African eyes, live updates, and expert voices only on Channel Africa.
Our new favorite DJ has become a good friend of the show, of course. That is Harrison Crump. He is standing by with a wonderful mix that's going to take us to the top of the hour. Let's go.
This is for us.
Rene, please can you the screen so I can send Mandisa the English ones?
Vamos dançar. A gente começa assim, né? Vamos ver. Você gosta de cantar? Ai, que maravilha. Você é de onde? Do Rio? Eu sou da Bahia. Mas que coisa, né? Uma baiana carioca se encontrando aqui em Paris. Nesse local aqui. Vem. Você tá passando as férias? Eu também. Como é o seu nome? Lindo nome. Meu nome é Roberto. Ai, todo mundo me chama de Bob. Eu tenho um amigo que também se chama Bob. Ele faz música. Coisas assim, você sabe, todo mundo também na festa gosta de fazer música, mas e esse ritmo é bem conhecido. Tem também lá na Bahia, você sabe que você vai chegando do Brasil agora, né? Já tão quentinho. Sabe que eu adoro o teu cheiro. Você tá muito bem. Vou te dar meu número de telefone, tá? Tá bom? Eu vou te ensinar essa música aí e você vai cantar, tá? Ah, sim, não, eu falo um pouquinho de francês, não. Conheci o Brasil. Ah, sim, tá bom. E na Bahia? Pode ser lá, Bahia. Salvador, How can you beat this one?
Kato, are you talking? Should I take it up?
The way you kiss me, have me screaming. I'm loving, you know I'm loving. Try this love thing a We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the Upside.
Katu?
Well, here we are with the music of Harrison Camp in the mix, okay? And I'm right here next to him. What a mix, what a powerful mix with all the wonderful dance floor fillers from the early 2000s. Wasn't that wonderful? So, yes, Harrison Camp was our special guest for this hour, bring us a wonderful conversation, brand new music, and the mix that you can only catch on the upside as we open gateways for you to check out what's happening in the music scene. It is 3 p.m. in Central African time. We're going to be having a conversation with Malay in this hour as we continue our musical theme. Jolene Chulungwebe standing by with the latest news.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Mmatsheko. Top stories: Asawa, more pupils kidnapped in Nigeria, and optimism over the decision to officially declare gender-based violence and femicide a national disaster in South Africa. Good afternoon. Nigerian officials say gunmen have kidnapped an unknown number of pupils from a Catholic school in Niger State. Some reports say almost 100 pupils and staff may have been taken. It is the third mass abduction in Nigeria in a week. Bandits who kidnapped 38 worshippers from a church on Tuesday are reportedly demanding a ransom of $69,000 for each of them. US President Donald Trump has threatened military action over the treatment of Christians in the West African country. South Africa's Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister Velenkosini Hlabisa has welcomed the decision to officially declare gender-based violence and femicide a national disaster. This as women and men across the country have embarked on a shutdown, bringing focus to the escalating violence against women and children in the country. The National Disaster Management Centre has classified GBVF as a national disaster in terms of Section 23 of the Disaster Management Act. COCTA spokesperson Pearl Masego says ongoing acts of violence prompted the conclusion that GBVF meets the threshold of a potential disaster.
This decisive action follows a thorough reassessment of previous reports and updated submissions from organs of state as well as civil organizations. After evaluating the persistent and immediate life safety risks posed by ongoing acts of violence, the National Disaster Management Centre has concluded that GBVF now meets the threshold of a potential disaster as defined in the Act.
The Border Management Authority says all ports of entry across South Africa remain stable and incident-free as delegations continue to arrive for the G20 summit. BMA Commissioner Dr. Michael Masiabado says heads of state, senior government officials and various high-level teams have been landing throughout the past 24 hours with no disruptions. BMA Deputy Assistant Commissioner for Communication and Marketing, Mmemme Mkhotsi.
Despite the heightened security environment, increased traveler volumes, and the complex coordination required across multiple ports of entries, all arrivals were processed efficiently. Our system across key ports of entries are fully operational, supported by the BMA ICT technicians deployed strategically at OR Tambo International Airport, Lanseria International Airport, Waterkloof Air Force Base.
The Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, has just concluded a 2-day official visit to Rwanda, a trip that underscores deepening ties between Doha and Kigali. This visit comes at a pivotal moment, reflecting not only growing economic cooperation, but also a shared vision of peace, stability, and sustainable development in the region. It also comes at a time when the region is grappling with the ongoing crisis in the eastern part of the DRC, to which Qatar has been playing a central role in mediating the warring parties. Analyst James Munyaneza speaks on the significance of this visit.
This visit carries a great deal of political, economic and diplomatic weight, and this also marks a milestone in the growing partnership between Kigali and Doha. It's a very meaningful visit. Like for their side, they named it friendly visit. This is a very timely visit, as Qatar is a key mediator in the security issue between the M23 and the DRC government.
The European Union's top diplomat has said the EU will support any plan that brings just and lasting peace to Ukraine after President Volodymyr Zelensky received a draft proposal for the US. Kaja Kallas reiterated that any such plan would need to have Kyiv and its European allies on board. Details of the American proposals have not been confirmed officially, but media reports indicate it's heavily based on Moscow's demands. The BBC's Jonathan Beale is in Kyiv.
What we've seen so far, and again I repeat, this is a draft document, but what we've seen so far, it does reflect a lot of the demands that Russia has been making of Ukraine, such as cutting the size of its armed forces, also giving up parts of the Donbass. And there are concerns that it favours one side over the other. Now, that said, Washington has said that both sides will have to make difficult concessions.
Recapping the top story, the Sawa Nigerian officials say gunmen have kidnapped an unknown number of pupils from a Catholic school in Niger State. For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Jonani Tulo Wepe.
SABC News. The African perspective. Time to stay informed, inspired, and connected to the ideas driving Africa forward. The Upside on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
This is us in the final hour of The Upside. Welcome to the Friday edition. A pleasure to have you here. Did you hear Harrison Crump's mix? Did you hear that? Oh my goodness, that took us places without a doubt. We are still reeling from how it took us back to memories of dance floor fillers from the early 2000s, and actually much earlier than that. Okay, so we are going to be having a conversation with South African vocalist, or actually Lesotho-born South African vocalist, Malere, as she steps into a new chapter of her musical journey with the release of her latest single, Dithapelo. Known for her stage presence and genre-defying sound, Malere offers listeners an intimate glimpse into her artistry. So Dithapelo, I should probably translate that. It means prayers. Prayers is what it means in the language of Sesotho. She joins me in studio. We're going to be talking to her about the brand new single. I know that there are some big, beautiful upcoming performances that she's going to talk to us about. So lots and lots to talk about with this wonderful superstar to continue with our music theme here on The Upside. But before we get into that, just a quick note that SABC News Channel 404 is your official host broadcaster for the G20 Summit, I beg your pardon, from 5:30 to 11. Catch live coverage on SABC2 with continuous G20 programming from 5:30 until midnight on SABC News Channel 404. You can also stream SABC News live on the dedicated G20 pop-up channel on SABC+. Don't miss a moment of G20 Summit with SABC News.
Got something to say? Are you passionate about issues that matter?
Do you have a voice that deserves to be heard?
Well, we've got the perfect platform for you. Call in or drop us a WhatsApp on +27 63 406 9126 and we will call you back so you could have your say and be part of the conversation.
30 years of age. I just turned 30 on the 15th of November. So yeah, that's who I am, you know.
It's not just talk, it's your chance to air your views, share your opinion, engage with the community that values your perspective. Follow us on our social media. Visit our website at www.channelafrica.co.za and get ready to share your views on Channel Africa, the African perspective. Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine, weekdays 6 till 9.
The South African Medical Association, SAMA, has officially suspended all relations with the Israeli Medical Association, a move welcomed by healthcare workers for Palestine, South Africa. The organization says this decision represents a powerful stand for medical ethics, justice, and human rights, echoing the global call for solidarity with Palestinians.
And recently, we've also seen other national associations, such as the British Medical Association, Turkish. They've released quite strongly worded statements, although none have gone as far as SAMA to cut ties with the Israeli Medical Association, as well as to call for the suspension from the World Medical Association. It's a watershed moment that an organization has actually taken this step. And it's not an idle threat. SAMA is a member of the World Medical Association, and they can action this resolution by bringing it before the World Medical Association.
Dr. Sadiq Mullah, chairperson of Healthcare Workers for Palestine, South Africa.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine. Channel Africa, your voice, your sound, and your home. Stay logged right here.
Love is blinded, but you see me. I can feel the vibe that you give me. Blinded, are you with me? You never want me down when you bring me. No man, no man, no man, no man. Baby, back it up, no man. You are the one to raise the bar. Baby, back it up. Love is blinded, but you see me. I can feel the vibe that you give me. Blinded, are you with me? You never want me down when you bring me. No man, no man, no man, no man. Baby, back it up, no man. You are the one to raise the bar. Baby, back it up, no man.
Yo, I cannot talk about you loosely. You made me stronger than Bruce Lee. When the city try to reduce me, you protect me when it's fishy like sushi. When we're fighting, you don't tell none. I like the way that you address me like a mailman. Meditating like a Shaolin. You endorse this cartel like Baolin. Loving and powerful, you got in soulful. Splitting this bread like we're cutting a lawful. You spoiling a mind and put me in powerful. Then now you're bamboo costing like we're getting a cawful. Designer from the top to the slippers. Designer inside to the knickers. Lost in this madness. Crazy love full of kindness.
Love is blinded, but you see me. I can feel the vibe that you give me. Blinded, are you with me? You never want me down when you bring me. No man, no man, no man, no man. Baby, back it up, no man. You are the one to raise the bar. Baby, back it up, no man.
I cannot talk about you loosely. You the reason that I'm full speed. When the city try to reduce me, you the fistful of vengeance like 2C. You got me chasing for the long run. I'll be shooting all the shots like a bomb man. Until the day I get to see you in a white dress. Let me count my blessings I get on God bless. Tell me that you're open for some dumplings. Never want you saying we ain't never done things. Wanna take you to places and get to know you well. Just make a short list, mga nyumba ya machanda bell. Loving and powerful, you got in soulful. Like a nigga nemo than keeping it awful. Lost in this madness. A crazy love full of kindness.
Love is blinded, but you see me. I can feel the vibe that you give me. Blinded, are you with me? You never want me down when you bring me. No man, no man, no man, no man. Baby, back it up, no man. You are the one to raise the bar. Baby, back it up. Love is blinded, but you see me. I can feel the vibe that you give me. Blinded, are you with me? You never want me down when you bring me. No man, no man, no man, no man. Baby, back it up, no man. You are the one to raise the bar. Baby, back it up, no man.
got it back. www.djerico.com.
The G20 Summit through African eyes, live updates, and expert voices only on Channel Africa.
Baba mabusisa mina namhlanje ngiyacela ngomusa nentobeko cela ungakhohlwa mngani wami cela ungalibali umakhelwane wami wakhona ukuvuka kwami namhlanje hayi ngoba ngingona cela ukhumbule umndeni wami cela ukhumbule abazali bami Baba mabusisa mina namhlanje ngiyacela ngomusa nentobeko cela ungakhohlwa mngani wami cela ungalibali umakhelwane wami wakhona ukuvuka kwami namhlanje hayi ngoba ngingona cela ukhumbule umndeni wami cela ukhumbule abazali bami Elinye ilanga ngahlangana nekehle sekuthe ukhula iminyaka lafizwana mntanami ngimdala mntanami ngimdala zwana ngami ngimdala mntanami ngimdala emhlabeni ngiyaphiliswa akhothile khothe emhlabeni amagagasa walingana Mangado moya uwekhulu ubuhlakani Ukulula isandla nginobusiso phakathi Ngoba two is better than one Yebo awathi kubambe zingelayo Kodwa nesandla siphayo sibusisiwe kunalesi esamukelayo Masibambane Baba mabusisa mina namhlanje ngiyacela ngomusa nentobeko cela ungakhohlwa mngani wami cela ungalibali umakhelwane wami wakhona ukuvuka kwami namhlanje hayi ngoba ngingona cela ukhumbule umndeni wami cela ukhumbule abazali bami Baba mabusisa mina namhlanje ngiyacela ngomusa nentobeko cela ungakhohlwa mngani wami cela ungalibali umakhelwane wami wakhona ukuvuka kwami namhlanje hayi ngoba ngingona cela ukhumbule umndeni wami cela ukhumbule abazali bami Baba mabusisa mina namhlanje ngiyacela ngomusa nentobeko cela ungakhohlwa mngani wami cela ungalibali umakhelwane wami wakhona ukuvuka kwami namhlanje hayi ngoba ngingona cela ukhumbule umndeni wami cela ukhumbule abazali bami
Nothing quite like the Upside bring you a nice fresh musical exclusive. Oh my goodness, I love it for you. Coming to you with brand new music by Malere, featuring Qwaqwa's very own Mzizi. Have you ever in your life, look at me, woo, what's happening? Oh my goodness. Talk about a refreshing piece of music. It's titled Ditapelo, and that is prayers in the language of Sesotho from Southern Africa. This is the music that we get to enjoy right now for the summer of 2025. So guess what? We're live in studio with South African songstress Malere, who is behind this wonderful classic that features Zizi from Qwaqwa, and she's stepping into a new era, okay? And we're just so privileged and honored to be able to get first dibs, you know, get our ears to hear this wonderful music. The latest track, titled Ditapelo, as I've mentioned, is a heartfelt piece that explores faith. It explores themes of healing, transformation, all the beautiful themes that we've known Malere for many years. Like, she's been that queen, right?
It's been over 20 years. Actually.
Isn't it just like... I love it. And I love, you know, when you do radio interviews, television interviews, and people are reading your CV, and then I see your face, and it's like a moment of reflection for you. Like, oh, yeah, actually, yes, that did happen.
It's so heartwarming. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, by the way. So I just jumped in.
No, please jump in. It's a conversation. We're in the moment, and we're celebrating. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Channel Africa, for having me. Thanks, Mmatsheko. It's just really lovely to be here with you guys and to chat a little bit about what I've been up to and where I've been reflecting and what I've been doing in the past couple of years, actually.
Yeah, and you've been booked and busy, Mama, and it's a good kind of booked and busy, because a lot of what I've seen in your movement, in eventing and festivaling, is so aligned with the people that are supposed to be in those rooms with you. You know, it's not just some random it's always like purpose driven, and I think that's such a blessing. Yeah, let's talk about the year 2025 perhaps before we talk about other serious big things. Just your reflections on the year, you know, and having your baby, and you know, traveling and working and fitting all of that in.
Yeah, certainly that's been the highlight for me. The birth of my third born, baby boy, a gift of a boy. We struggled a little bit before the birth of this one. I went through 3 miscarriages, and so it's been an interesting journey in that regard of just trying to expand the family and that kind of thing. So he's been the absolute blessing of our lives.
Right.
Yeah, and this year has just been about me taking time to appreciate that blessing and to reflect on God's goodness, His faithfulness, and then also just try and wrap things up in the studio, because I've been in studio for a long time. You know, I keep saying to somebody, I was at a rehearsal yesterday for a show we have this weekend, and I was in rehearsal like fully, like the way I used to feel about it when I first started having the opportunity to work with musicians and work out the music. And so it feels good to feel alive and to feel rejuvenated about making music again. When you've done it for as long as I have, there are dips and there are moments when you're not as excited about it. So it's great to feel happy to be here.
Yes, and renewed.
And renewed. You know, there's a refreshing of my spirit as well. And also just the music that we're making, as we're going to unpack, is really just rebirth for me. We keep calling it, just because, just even in terms of the content and what I want to share with people. my personal experiences and my spiritual walk and all of those good things.
Yes, that's so beautiful. You know what I'm enjoying about, and I think particularly with the album that has Kitlo Fitla, Rato Laka, right? Le Rato Laka is the album. It almost moves us, because there is that movement where people are moving away from being specific about genres and that sort of thing. We're moving more into how the music makes us feel.
Absolutely.
And I feel like picking up from that album, you've literally forced us to heal. Like you forced us just be quiet and also enjoy deep listening. Enjoy actually listening to the music, not passively, but sitting down and hearing the voice of God through your voice, that is like, that is like a tool for divination for people like myself that really enjoy your voice. So with that, this new chapter, Litapelo, let's talk about that specific song, because it's also around those themes of blending soul and spirituality.
Yeah, I mean, just to pick up a little bit from your last statement about particularly Kitlo Fitla, Lerato Lak was a 17-track album, beautiful songs in it, and people really opened their hearts to all of the different, like you've said, genre-wise. I've always been free-flowing, and I sing what I like, and but Kitlo Fitla specifically, I felt like God was like, you see, this is indeed the direction I'm calling you to expressing yourself as you always have, in terms of sonically what you've always enjoyed, but I want you to tell people about the love that you've experienced, the walk we've gone through, and to speak about Jesus Christ, apart from you being raised Christian, the encounter that you've had through your music. And so Kitlo Fitla was, it has those lines that talk about and so naturally I've just been kind of continuing to search for the kind of words that would help people come to a place of worship when they listen to the music. Hence this album that has been named Ditapelo, but this first single also appropriately is titled Ditapelo. And the song is so special to me, and I'm so excited about the response. It's only been a week. It was released last Friday.
Unbelievable, yeah.
But people have been pouring in the messages of love for it, and how it's helping them to reflect, and how it's helping them to recognize the places they haven't healed about different things in their lives, And that's, I think, one of the best ways that I believe God would ever be able to use me as a singer. If my voice can help people to sit still and listen to his voice, then I would have accomplished everything that I would have wanted to accomplish in life. And I'm so grateful to be part of the beautiful process of making music, and that gift that is music, it's beyond one's intentions. You can put pen to paper, but if the Holy Spirit is not in it, it doesn't flow the way it's been flowing. And I'm so grateful. And then working with Mzizi was amazing too, because his verse.
Please tell me about that man, because immediately, first couple of lines, I'm like, he's amazing.
His voice is incredible. He's just released his own album as well, and called me a month before we got into the studio to do Ditapelo. And I just was like, oh, this is so aligned, because I've been watching him in the spaces, and I'm like, I love your music. I just resonate with who you are as an artist. Just your spirit, your soul is in the music. And so it was literally, I tell you, we got into the studio. I said, okay, fine. So this is the song. I don't know how to explain it, because I get to now only have the melody and the lyrics. I sang it and he followed. And we recorded, and that was so the guitar lines that you hear was a one-take scenario, and he went back to his place to work on the verses. And I said to him, the title is Ditapelo. I have given my verse, which is my prayer. You have your own prayer. You have what you talk in your private space to God about. Feel free to say what you want to say. And so somehow whatever he came up with just blended, and it's beautiful that people are in a place where they can pray when they hear the song, and they're like, oh, okay, this is so beautiful to be reminded.
Talk about a musical match made in heaven. And Quincy Jones speaks about that quite a lot, about two musicians, you get in, but there's a chemistry and a magic that is anointed, that it's got nothing to do with the two of you.
It's not forced.
Love it.
Yeah, it hasn't been forced at all. And I wish he was. In fact, I mean, we're obviously still starting out with the PR rollout plan. I'm just like, yo, Mzizi, you gotta come with me everywhere I go, man. You know, we have to talk about this together.
Listen, he does, because Gidi Tapelo, in the plural, the both of you have got to be there together. Such a heartfelt piece. Malé in studio with me, and she has represented the feminines of Southern Africa in the most amazing way through the music. We're talking about the new music and also some upcoming performances as well. 1:31, Figilele Ngwati, standing by with sports.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
I will tee off with the golf news this hour. Gary Player has extended a personal invitation to Sunshine Tour professional Yurav Primal to make his dream debut in the Nedbank Golf Challenge at Sun City from the 4th to the 7th of December. In writing to the 22-year-old professional, Player said he is delighted to personally invite him to participate in the Nedbank Golf Challenge at Sun City this year. Primlal will feel quite at home at the Gary Player Country Club, having enjoyed previous success. In 2021, he lifted the Freddie Tate Cup as the leading amateur in his National Open when it was played at Sun City. On to cricket news. Former South African women's captain Danae van Niekerk will make her comeback to international cricket in the home series against Ireland more than 4 years after her last appearance. Van Niekerk announced her retirement in March 2023 after being left out of South Africa's T20 World Cup squad for 2023 tournament, but reversed that in August this year. She has been included in both the ODI and the T20 international squads to face Ireland in a 6-match series starting on the 5th of December. Proteas coach Mandla Mashimbi says they didn't think twice about including her in the squad.
I think it would be a no-brainer not to pick a player who is in such good form. Obviously, a name comes with a lot of previous stuff in terms of her being captain and having done well for the team before. But I think she has earned based on the performances that she's put the last 2 seasons.
And since retiring, Van Niekerk featured briefly at the WPL but made a proper return to domestic game for South African provincial team Western Province. Mashimbi explains about her return.
We all know how talented she is. We all know in terms of the knowledge of the game, what she carries from that point of view. She just needs to perform. I just wanted to just focus on winning games for this team. That's all she needs to do. There's nothing much she can do. I mean, she's got a legacy behind her in terms of what she has achieved in international cricket, and now she's got a second chance to come back and showcase what she can do, and she just needs to focus on that. And then if she's performing well, then it would mean that we're performing well as a team.
On to football news, Botswana head coach Morena Ramorebuli has outlined why he believes Bafana boss Hugo Broos was exactly the right appointment for South Africa. Ramorebuli himself, South African, once had a complex relationship with Safa and was even considered for a role with Broos' technical team during the early stages of the Belgians' tenure. Ramorebuli says Broos' methods were precisely what the national team needed.
Coach Hugo has done a tremendous work, honestly. I think one thing that happened, Coach Hugo came in at the time when I think the hope was lost. It needed someone to come in and try to implement things that will help, which I think it worked for him, because the first thing that he did was to try and make sure that he get maybe a young group of players. Secondly, the consistency in terms of player selection. Thirdly, I think being as honest as you can, because with Coach Hugo, it has always been yes or no.
For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Figilele Ngwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine, weekdays 6 till 9.
The South African Medical Association, SAMA, has officially suspended all relations with the Israeli Medical Association, a move welcomed by healthcare workers for Palestine, South Africa. The organization says this decision represents a powerful stand for medical ethics, justice, and human rights, echoing the global call for solidarity with Palestinians.
And recently, we've also seen other national associations, such as the British Medical Association, Turkish, they've released quite strongly worded statements, although none have gone as far as SAMA to cut ties with the Israeli Medical Association, as well as to call for the suspension from the World Medical Association. It's a watershed moment that an organization has actually taken this step. And it's not an idle threat. SAMA is a member of the World Medical Association, and they can action this resolution by bringing it before the World Medical Association.
Dr. Sadiq Mullah, chairperson of Healthcare Workers for Palestine, South Africa.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine. Global leaders, African insights. Follow the G20 summit with Channel Africa as it happens.
15:37. Let's check in with the latest in business. Tabiso Lehoko is standing by.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thanks, Mmatsheko, and good afternoon. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen says the G20 remains the world's key platform for finding joint solutions to global crises. Speaking of the engagements with South African officials, as she said, the discussions will focus on maintaining fair global trade, strengthening climate and energy resilience.
The G20 is a premier global forum to find common solutions for common challenges, such as how to maintain reliable, rules-based trade in a volatile global economy.
South African mobile operator Cell C's listing on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange was priced at 26.50 rands per share, below a previously set range of 29.50-35.50 rands. The offer comprises up to 173.4 million ordinary shares, alongside an additional 9.52 million shares available through an overall allotment option, collectively representing up to 53.8% of Cell C's issued share capital post-listing. Cell C is majority owned by Blue Label Unlimited through its subsidiary, the Prepaid Company. China has signed a $1.4 billion agreement with Zambia and Tanzania to modernize the Tazara Railway, linking landlocked Zambia to the Indian Ocean. The railway, financed by China in the 1970s to facilitate copper exports and fuel imports through Tanzania, remains a critical trade route and is widely seen as countering the US and EU-backed Lobito corridor, a route from Angola through Zambia to the Democratic Republic of Congo. The agreement was signed during a visit to Zambia by Chinese President Li Qiang, the first such visit in 28 years at a time when Africa's second copper producer is emerging from financial crisis. Qiang says the refurbishment cements relations between China and Africa.
We should strengthen infrastructure connectivity, consolidating railway, roads, ports, and other infrastructure to build multimodal transport corridor and a modern logistics system. On the other hand, we should strengthen institutional connectivity concerning customs, commodity inspection, and taxes to promote greater facilitation of trade and investment. Looking into the future, China-Africa cooperation enjoys vast prospects.
India's largest buyer of Russian oil, Reliance Industries, says it has stopped importing Russian crude for its export-focused refineries to comply with the new US and EU sanctions. The company says from the 1st of December, other non-Russian supplies of crude oil will be used to produce its export products. The BBC's Achana Shukla has the details.
Reliance is India's biggest buyer of Russian crude, backed by a long-term deal for 500,000 barrels a day from Rosneft. But from December the 1st, it says all exports from its refinery in the western Indian state of Gujarat will use only non-Russian crude. The shift matters as Europe accounts for nearly a third of Reliance's exports. It also signals a clear and significant concession to Washington. The US has pressed India for months to scale back Russian oil, penalizing it with the highest tariffs and with President Trump warning that any trade deal would depend on it.
European shares fell, extending a sell-off after Wall Street dropped overnight as traders continue to worry about tech stock valuations. U.S. jobs data presented a mixed picture, adding to traders' uncertainty and diminishing hopes that the Federal Reserve will cut rates again this year. Technology stocks led Wall Street sharply lower with a positive earnings report from chipmaker NVIDIA, not enough to dispel fears about an AI-fueled market bubble. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,453 naira. Botswana 13.47, Kenya 128 shilling 97, and Zambia 22 kwacha 86. The BRICS countries and Brazil, the dollar there will cost you 5 real 33, Russia 80 rubles 30, India 88 rupees 66. China, 71.10, and in South Africa, the dollar will cost you 17 rand 20 cents. 76 pence, a British pound, 86 to the euro. Gold is trading at $4,040. Platinum, $1,507 per ounce. Brent crude oil is at $62.32 a barrel. For any business stories you would like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business in Johannesburg, I'm Thabisolo Hoko.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Wake up with gratitude, hope, and the African spirit. Channel Africa, now easier to access than ever before. WhatsApp us on +27 63 406 9126.
All right, welcome back to The Upside. A quick note, SABC News Channel 404 is your official host broadcaster for the G20 Summit. From 5:30 to 11, catch live coverage on SABC2 with continuous G20 programming from 5:30 until midnight on SABC News Channel 404. You can also stream SABC News live on the dedicated G20 pop-up channel that's on SABC Plus. Don't miss a moment of the G20 Summit with SABC News.
Your life, your rhythm, your Africa. Channel Africa. Find it for free on Google Play and the Apple App Store.
Listen, she is from the mountain kingdom of Lesotho, making waves throughout southern Africa. Her name is Malere, and this is the second segment of our conversation. If you've just started listening, she's got a new song out. It is titled Dithapelo, which in Sesotho means prayers. It is a heartfelt piece of music that taps into her themes that we know her for around healing, around faith, around our relationship with God, and of course, in us being able to transform our lives is what she's singing about, and it features Qwaqwa's very own Mzizi on the song. So we're just unpacking the single, but the good news is, and I put her on pressure just before we went on air, because I'm like, is there going to be an album? And she said, yes, there's going to be a full album.
Titled Dithapelo.
Dithapelo is the title track, absolutely.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to wait a little bit, okay? But it's going to be coming through in February of 2026, which is around the corner because, I mean...
Yeah.
In South Africa, December is not a month, it's a feeling.
Month.
So we are done with the year.
We are just passing through December.
We literally are. So just to pick up on where we left off, because you're talking about collaborating Limzizi,
yes.
you know, how you found him and the magic that you created, you know, one take wonder. It was so amazing. And then putting together the entire, is it an extended play? That's going to be coming to a full-length album, as it were.
Yes, a 16-track album, as it were.
Okay.
We had to hand in pretty much the draft of it, because it's, you know, with the DSPs, they get pitched all the music, and it has to be as per what people can expect with the actual album. So we are, you know, a good way in terms of a good way along in terms of completing the project, so we're almost there. But yeah, I think it's exciting for me because I've been blessed to also do this music independently under my own personal label, Sam's Productions.
Congratulations.
So that's always something that I'm very proud of. The last project was the same, but I've also just been so blessed to sign a new management deal with Baseline. And if you know Baseline, just the brand, they've been around for years, doing really, really good things in the music industry, providing artists a platform in terms of festivals.
Yes.
Some of the mega festivals in the country are done by Baseline, but they've expanded on the management side as well. So it's been really amazing having a team of people who are really behind you and who genuinely believe in this Malay lady and want to see this lady thrive and shine. And so I'm very grateful for that, and I want to do a young shout out to Baseline.
Shout out to Baseline,
and
y'all.
Label Headed, which is my new distribution company as well, just for the work that I've seen just with this single alone. There's a beautiful rollout plan in terms of just slowly introducing people and easing them into what they can expect with the album. And I just want to mention this just in case.
Please do. Yes.
We have a show coming up at Untitled Basement that I would love to invite everybody to come through, to anyone who loves and has been a supporter of my music and who would like to get a sneak preview, listen to what they can expect of the new album. We're going to be performing some of the songs that it would just be an exclusive performance of some of the songs that they're going to expect in the project that have not been obviously performed anyway. So yeah, I think 13th of December is the date. Please buy your tickets.
No, please buy your ticket. And also, we love to throw around the word exclusive, but this is actually really exclusive, because it's music that's never been heard before
at all.
And
including the live performance with Mzizi. For this particular single, Titabela,
stunning. Yeah, it's going to be wonderful to meet him and to see you guys connect on a stage. And I just want to shout out Untitled as well, because they're also kind of moving forward in terms of what Baseline was able to create and other venues like the Orbit were creating. Baseline is doing amazing things for artists in this country and in other parts of Southern Africa as well, as I've seen. So big love to them. We're excited for the listening session.
It's Untitled Basement is absolutely one of my most favorite venues to perform at in the city because of the intimacy the space creates.
The architecture is amazing.
Absolutely incredible. And also just I think the audience, the Untitled Basement audience is that audience that is all about taking it in, and they are willing, and they're like, okay, it's a new song, no problem, give it to us, so every experience I've ever had at Untitled Basement was so special. And I think anyone who was there at the previous performances that we were doing, the last time.
Can we just backtrack a little bit? Another moment we've got to celebrate is your own record label. I mean, that is a big deal.
It is. It is.
And if I'm not mistaken, is this the first album that's going to be under your own label?
It's the second album.
Okay.
And so, the first two albums, Stepchild and You Make My Heart Go, I was working with another label, and when we separated, they took down the music.
Yes.
And that's why, you won't find You Make My Heart Go or the Stepchild album on any platforms online. And it was really painful to go through that experience as an artist, to know that for so many years I've been working on this music, this is my catalog, and it's all gone. And so I promised myself I'd never allow myself to be in that position again.
Right.
And I would follow other great artists that I respect. Zonke, I think, is the one who was amongst others who inspired me to say, okay, you can do this independently, do it independently. And just trust God for the growth of the brand, etc. And so it's been a few years now that Sam's Productions has been in existence, and we intend to sign other artists. It's not just about Malay. I would really love to be able to give the opportunity to younger people who are looking for a place to call home and a place that's safe, and for myself as well to grow in the business aspect of what it means to own a record label. So far so good. I'm learning. I'm taking it nice and easy and slowly and gently, but it feels incredible to be able to have that power.
I love it for you.
Yeah.
Ebile o na le glow eo ya
Umbone.
ownership. What's it? Like a woman who just owns her work and her and I mean that sincerely.
Yeah,
I mean
thank
you look very happy and fulfilled, and I think that journey has something to do with it. That you now own the work, but you can share it with others. But it is yours. You know, you are an
Absolutely.
artist. You've worked hard, and it's
absolutely.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
it's
so
beautiful.
much.
So, Ditapelo, the single has been out for a week. Response from your people?
You know, I think the most heartwarming for me were, one was a voice note and the other was a phone call. And on both ends, they were breaking down and crying, genuine tears, appreciating the song just for what it was able to help them be in a place of worship. And that was the whole intention. I was in prayer about it while recording this album. Lord, it's still sounding like me. Does it make sense? It's still hip. It's like here, we're here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what here is over. For whoever's not watching me do the dance, but still,
we get it metaphorically. We get it.
And I think for me, as it's been unfolding and the music has just been coming in the way that sonically people understand and know Malay, there's no new surprise in terms of what you would expect to hear from a Malay project. But I think obviously the content is very much about the kingdom of God. It's very much about our relationship with how we deal with circumstances, and I'm just always trying to put Jesus at the center of it. But I wanted to say that I recognize that the ministry is for young people as well. I think that young people are going through a lot, and I feel like there's a revival and young people are seeking God in a way that I don't feel was the same in my earlier years of my youth. I just feel like I find young people are very open and willing to be guided and spoken to about God, and they're on that search. So I love that it's music that a young person can listen to and think, oh, okay, and be curious about this Jesu Christe ke wangena ekering umutle wa halalela and ungentshitse lerato. I want to say it over and over and over again, and it's beautiful. I have a beautiful love song on the project as well.
Oh, please tell us about that. Tell us
It's
about the love song.
titled Love and Forever. And it says, it's been lonely. I never knew I needed you. And it's my personal love song to Christ, but I can see it already that people are going to get married to this song. Because in any case, in marriage, we want the Holy Spirit involved, so it's all really unfolding in a way that I'm also just like, wow, okay, this is interesting, this is beautiful. And I'm glad that God is just going to have me in that space that I can be part of kingdom work. It's great. It's exciting.
How is it that you're going to make me cry during an interview and when I listen to your music? How do you do it? Oh, my goodness.
I'm so humbled. Thank you. I'm so humbled. So
Thank
grateful.
you. Thank you. Thank you for the work. Thank you for just the sincerity, in what you are doing. And it's not about, what will people think. It's about how it makes you feel.
Yes.
And those that resonate will commune with you and go with you on this journey. Congratulations. I think 2025 has just been such an epic year for you.
What's it has? It really has. It's gratitude all around. Not to say there haven't been some moments, but certainly he carries us and he helps us through those kinds of times. So to anybody who's had a difficult one, it's okay. We've made it to the end. Let's be hopeful about 2026. What's the tagline going to be for 2026? 2026... not fix. I could say
2020. Yeah, maybe 2020 fix, actually.
Fix it, make it better.
That's the one. Yeah, let's hop on that bandwagon.
Right,
I like
love
that.
it.
No, I resonate with that. And what did I think I've lost my thought now because I've got a million questions for you. Because I don't know if I'm going to get this opportunity again. But just to say thank you, and also for you to remind us, you mentioned the pre-listening session at Untitled.
Yes.
Please purchase a ticket. Okay, do it today.
Yes,
Tickets are moving quickly.
And
then there's Maibui Africa on the 6th of December.
On the 6th of December at the State Theatre. Billy Manama has a beautiful show where we are just going back into time and appreciating the legends who made this African music what it is all over the world. I get to perform songs Sibongile Khumalo, the late great Sibongile Khumalo.
I love that.
And I'm so grateful for that opportunity because she was umama to me when I was still in high school, dreaming of being on stage one day, and to be able to one day be able to come and pay tribute to somebody like that is an honor. So beautiful lineup, Tatasi Potsticks, Simpiwe Dana, Mam Judith Supuma as well. Just beautiful artists that mean what they say when they get onto that stage, mean it when they are about
live the lyric.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's great to be amongst such amazing and incredible talented artists. Langa Mavuso as well, let me not forget to mention him, and Billy Munam, of course, himself. So it's an incredible lineup. I'm privileged to be there. And you must come through Thing Mamelang. Get your tickets. It's going to be amazing. We did recently do the edition here, the Joburg Theatre. It was a few months ago.
Yes, I remember that.
And
one.
It was fully sold out. Beautiful audience. People are all about just reliving those beautiful moments.
Maibuwe Africa is very special. I emceed the one that was at the Soweto Theatre.
Yes.
And also, when you talk about the audience that comes to Maibuwe Africa,
I'm telling you.
they just want to hear Billy Munama's guitar singing Isintu, and to
yes.
hear beautiful women like yourself singing on stage. It is an epic gathering. So I encourage you to definitely go and support. We love you. You are a star in the galaxy. Thank you.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you to all the listeners. Thank you always for the support. I really appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's Malay. Check out the new single. I'm going to be listening to it in my car. Okay, I'm going to go on Apple Music and check out Ditapelo, and I encourage you to do the same. We are gearing up to welcome Tami Ngubeni, who's coming through after the 4 p.m. news bulletin for Africa in Business. Big themes in this heartfelt piece, themes of faith, themes of healing, themes of God and transformation. Ditapelo, which means prayer prayers in the language of Sesotho from Southern Africa. Malay is the artist. Check her out, Maleh. Okay? And it features Mzizi from Qaqwa on this track.
What a haunting voice.
And I know that you love music too. So
I'm literally mesmerized. Arikainehela, which is I give myself. Absolutely amazing.
Stunning.
Really amazing.
Stunning.
Well, here's what we've got in store for you. First and foremost, good afternoon, Africa.
Good afternoon.
Well, as you know, it's all about the G20 today. Tomorrow, officially, the G20 Leaders Summit begins. We will be broadcasting live from the G20 tomorrow as Africa in Business, and also as Channel Africa, because as you've been following, our program has changed to accommodate the G20. So that's where we'll be throughout this weekend. Today we'll touch base with our reporter, Nhlanhla Mahlangu, who's on the ground. She's at Nasrec in Johannesburg, and she'll give us a blow-by-blow of how preparations are going. And then also, tomorrow's very interesting because we'll be doing a simulcast along with Lagos Talk. So we'll be with Lagos Talk. We'll be speaking to them this afternoon as well. So that's Lagos Talks 91.3 FM. And we'll be speaking to Kolawole Falodun as well as Olalua Awe. And we'll be speaking to them about what tomorrow is going to be about. I mean, it's huge for the entire continent. We've been focusing on that. And then obviously we've got Victor Khomuswana coming up with the latest business stories on the African continent, a focus on Ghana, Zimbabwe, as well as Rwanda.
All right, so that's what's coming through, and I'm very excited to hear that cross between the two stations. Actually heard our technical producer, Mxolisi, hello, this is Johannesburg, it's Lagos on the line. So listen, it's going to be exciting.
You do a great impersonation.
We are very excited, and as Tami Ngubeni rightfully said, this is the story for the African continent. Listen, it was a great week. I'm not here next week, but Tebogo will be here with you. Have a pleasant rest of the weekend as we G20. Please listen to the station G20 Summit, brought to you by SABC and SABC News. It is 4:01. Jolani Tulungwebe standing by with the latest news. Cheers.
SABC